Have you ever wondered why we always do things the way we do them? Like having an intro to a podcast? Well, what's the point of it? Because at the end of the day, you have that intro, you do the intro, it's always almost the same, but you always try to be on team with things, and it never comes out alright. And you think about it, and you spend about 5 minutes out of your day just thinking about what's going to be the next intro, and never comes out the way it's supposed to come out anyway, because you're going to be like, oh, it has to be this way, and it's not. And it's not that good, actually, and you always do it every single episode for like almost 60 episodes at this point, and you get sick of just doing an intro, so you're like, just fan out your frustration with it to your friend. What do you think about this?
I don't know, man. Like, it's almost as if I accidentally hit record whilst we started doing this, and I caught you mid-rant as you were explaining to me why you haven't got an intro for this week.
Yeah, so it's so weird, right?
It's very weird.
It's weird. Do you have to do an intro every single time? Is there any point to it?
Well, everything has to have a beginning, Andre.
So, but the beginning can be a middle, right? Because at the end of the day, if you start from a middle, which it's a beginning for somebody else, it's still okay. Because not everybody's at the same point in their lives, right? If you look at it, not everybody's at the same point in their lives. So you look at somebody's life having a family and kids, and you're like, oh, why don't I have a family and kid? Maybe because it's not your turn, right? So your beginning is at the point where they're having a family and kids. You asking yourself, why don't I have this, right?
Yeah. I don't know what you mean, really, dude. I lost you like 5 sentences ago.
I lost myself.
How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm just, in one of those what-if situations, and I'm constantly just thinking about what if this, what if that.
I see. Like, what if you came up with an intro that wasn't, like, Yeah,
so I thought, listen, I don't want to be the only one thinking about what if this and what if that. I thought, oh, what if I ask Billy some silly things and see how he reacts to them without torturing this time,
without deliberate torture.
Yes.
What kind of show do you think this is?
Undeliberate torture, which I think would be considered accidental torture, which is still fine because you can still say, I am so sorry, I did not intend to torture you today.
So if I tie, a bunch of dissidents up, underneath a giant swinging pendulum that gets closer and closer to the bridge of their nose every 5 seconds.
But then here's the question.
If I do that on accident, if I accidentally swing the pendulum inches from their eyeballs for 17 days, if it's an accident,
it's not your fault if they move their head and all of a sudden something happened. Because you didn't
Lisa,
intentionally.
I'm going to start going like this, and if you get hit, it's your own fault.
Yes, do not move. It's your fault. You're in this situation by mistake. by my mistake, that's for sure. But it will be your mistake if you move. So it's not my fault. I don't think you can bring that in a court of law.
I think anyone with legal understanding in the audience will probably be screaming at us and going, "Wow, you guys are fucking idiots."
Oh my man, that was never a question if we're fucking idiots.
Oh no,
we are fucking idiots. So that does not matter. That's not a point. So I thought
if you understand law in any sort of way, even if you're an undergrad, just let us know in the comments. Is accidentally torturing people a thing? I'm curious now.
I don't think that's a precedent for that.
I'm sure someone's tried to claim it at some point, though. I'm sure in the long history of legal things, there must have been one person who tried to claim he did it.
He should be like, I accidentally waterboarded him.
Yeah, I'm sure there has been.
I just forgot the tap open. It's not my fault the rag was on his face.
Yeah, I accidentally dropped my rag, which I was using to clean my car, onto my bound prisoner. And
yeah. So the bound prisoner had nothing to do with everything else.
The fact that the water started leaking out of the tap at exactly that moment is frankly, it's a cosmic sort of, you should sue God. You ever seen that film, The Man Who Sued God?
No, I have not.
Great film. Yeah, it's Billy Connolly's best film.
Is it about a guy trying to sue God?
Yes.
As in actual God, and God appears in court?
No. He gets an insurance claim denied because he got struck by lightning, and that's classified as an act of God. So he decided to sue the church for the money for his boat back. and it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court.
That's a funny movie.
It's a good movie. It's a very good movie.
I bet it's a good movie.
It's got Billy Connolly playing a lawyer who represents himself, so it's just got banger after banger in it,
Oh, fair. I'm actually gonna put it on my list of things to watch.
Do watch it. It's an unsung classic. It really is. How did we get onto this topic? I'm sure there was something you were planning to talk about in terms of life's great mystery.
I met a friend yesterday, and he put me on this idea. Well, he didn't put me on the idea. I always wanted to go see China. He just came back from China, but he said that their whole lives are run on apps, and apps run your life and stuff. And I'm like,
how is that any different from here?
As in, like, your entirety of your life is on your apps. Here you can get away with not being on an app and getting things done. Like you can go pick up your takeaway rather than ordering your takeaway. You can actually call a taxi rather than using an app to get a taxi and that sort of things. Everything's connected through apps. Everybody has payments with QR codes and stuff like that. So it's a whole thing. So I thought, here's a silly question. Just imagine this. Billy, if you would have only one app that you could use for the rest of your life, and this is the only app that you can use for the rest of your life, which app would it be? On your phone, obviously.
Okay, this is difficult, right? Because here's the thing about phones now. Like, even your text messaging and your, like, phone, like your regular, terrestrial cable phone or whatever, it's all done through... That's an app. The phone, like, is an app that, like, runs on the program that is the computer that is your phone. So we'd have to get rid of everything
except for one app.
For one app.
Well, you have to think of apps that might have payments integrated with messaging inside of them.
Oh,
so that's still technically one app.
Oh,
like, because in his case, he told me it was called Alipay, which is the
Alibaba, yeah.
Alibaba system, and that one does absolutely everything for you. So I'm like, here in the UK, if you would have to have just one single app.
An app that currently exists and we can get access to.
Yeah, just the one.
That's for function, it would probably have to be WhatsApp. Like, that's probably...
Just message. Well, but you can use SMS. SMSs are not an app, right?
No, they are an app because the program that sends them is still an app now. It didn't used to be, but it is now. So that's why I stipulated that I think, if we're going to use one thing for everything, I suppose WhatsApp's probably the best one.
So what, are you going to start giving people car details over WhatsApp to pay them? So you can't do that anymore, can you?
No.
The worst.
I'll pay for everything in cash and precious stones. That's what I'll do. I'm going old school. I'm going down to the beach. I'm going to collect some precious metals, and I'm going to
which beach? Because you don't find precious metals on the beaches.
You obviously got to go to the right beach, man. I'm not going to tell people where the score is. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you where the gold beach is or the platinum beach.
I almost got you there. That was actually why
I nearly gave away my secrets. I will never give away my secrets, Andrei. Never. The only app I can use. Okay.
Just one app. Just choose one.
Okay. I'm going to choose the NatWest the NatWest banking app because you can attach long notes to your payments if you want to. So you can actually just type out long communications and just send them via 1 penny to each person.
Oh, cool. That's actually a smart idea.
Yeah, and then they send you a 1 penny transaction back. So if they want to message you back.
Oh, that's actually because I think
it also means if girls want to leave you on red, just ignore your messages, then quits in,
Here's what I was thinking, right? Because you would have to look. I looked at it from.
I just realized that the thing I was just talking about doesn't work because you'd be giving them money if you just spam message them. So, well, that's good. That's an anti-stalking feature. I call it an anti-stalking feature.
There you go. Like you're making stuff up.
I've solved the problem in my head.
So, because I looked at it from 2 points of view, right? Would you like a survival app or an entertainment app?
Yeah, function over form and enjoyment.
So now I'm like, you chose survival, right? Yeah. I would have gone the other direction, not gonna lie to you. I would have been like, I'll keep YouTube. I'm not even joking. I'm gonna keep with YouTube because YouTube has music, has movies, has all the silly things that I watch.
Connecting to other human beings. It's a pointless exercise. Andrei 2026.
But also, through YouTube, you can send messages to people because you can comment on things. Can you?
Oh, yeah, I suppose you can. There used to be like a YouTube message feature, but it got removed.
But now you can comment on things.
Now you can just comment on things, I suppose, yeah.
So you just comment and attach your friend's handle on it. Like, you know how you have your YouTube account?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be like, tag you into this and be like, tag you, Billy, see you at the pub.
Good shout.
And just random videos. Or make up a video. Or I record myself saying, Billy, see you at the pub. Post it on the internet using my computer. And then just tag into it. And you'll be like, oh, I had a tag on YouTube.
Do you think it would imagine if, right, all your messages with other people on, communication apps in general were public. Imagine if all of them were public.
They are already public, Billy. Well, because it says has end-to-end encryption, but it doesn't really have.
But I mean, public in terms of as public as a YouTube comment, anyone could just swan in and have a look.
Okay.
So
You can't. You thinking you can't message your drug dealer?
Well, people would have to start getting clever. They'd have to start using code. They'd have to start using like cryptographs.
Aren't they already using code?
I mean, to communicate things like to sell drugs on social media. No, they're not doing that.
Oh, fair.
They just use Snapchat.
Because it disappears.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. The problem is you can actually save Snapchat messages. That's how a bunch of comedians and YouTubers got caught. Yeah.
But the idea is, if you would have to use just one app, it wouldn't destroy your life.
No,
necessarily.
It would make communication difficult and a bit more annoying.
It will make communication, well, that to a certain degree. But one thing I would probably miss is actually checking my bank statement every other day, being like, do I still have money for this pint? Okay, cool.
You check after every. You're a braver man than you're a significantly richer man than me as well. But you're a braver man than me checking your bank balance that much. I just hope.
Oh, you just leave hope and dreams.
Yeah. I just I remember the last time I checked it. It was probably a week ago. I probably got a lot less in there now. I just assume that none of it's there anymore, and that way I don't spend as much money. It's clever. Just even if you're not broke, pretend to be broke. You'll save money.
But you imagine all of a sudden you have to go to the bank to get your statements. In my case, well, not your case, because you, for some reason, you send pennies to everybody, so you'll be fine. I
like to think of it as payment for them taking my time seriously.
Actually, gonna have to buy an alarm clock. You imagine, because I haven't owned an alarm clock in so long, because my phone is my alarm clock.
Oh, you got YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So what if you found a YouTube video that makes a loud noise after a certain time? So it's like, okay, this is a 6-hour-long video, and at the end,
I'm
just
gonna
like,
I'm gonna have to make a video of me shouting at myself for every interval, for 1 hour, for 2 hours, for 3 hours, for 4 hours.
If you want to do a pizza, you'll have to make a 20-minute one, stuff like that.
Well, that's why you buy one of those hour timey thingies.
A kitchen timer.
Kitchen timer.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you're gonna have to rebuy all these things, right? All of a sudden.
Have to get an analog alarm clock. Did you ever have one of those, a proper analog alarm clock?
No, I didn't have an analog one. I had a digital one.
No, the first alarm clock I ever had was rescued from some house, and it was about a foot across. It was literally gigantic and made out of brass. Yeah. So when it went off, it was literally the sound of a school fire alarm going off in your head. It sucked.
I don't miss my digital one. It was going I'm like, oh, shut up.
Yeah.
I hated that. And then my first song that I ever put as an alarm for myself was
Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff.
No, it was really loud. I can't remember the song.
It's one of those days where you don't want to wake up.
That's actually a good song.
It's a great song for an alarm clock.
I can't remember, but the thing is, to this day, if I hear the song again, I can't remember what song it is. I kind of startle myself a little bit, because I'm like, what? Oh, it's that song. I remember that song. I used that as an alarm for 2 years.
Oh, God. Does it make you hate the song, though, after a while?
Not really.
Oh.
Not really. But the thing is, I get startled and I get nostalgia. So I'm like, okay, this is a nice dopamine nostalgia hit. But
this reminds me of waking up in Cyprus, a much better country.
So going from that to my next what if, because they're both connected, the first and second one. What if you didn't have a phone at all?
Oh. To be fair,
will it destroy tomorrow? As in, we all go to bed tonight, putting our alarms on, ready to go to work the next day.
What if everyone was late to work tomorrow?
And then all the phones in the world stopped working at the same time. How bad would that be?
Funny thing, that's actually a plot from Final Fantasy VIII.
Was it?
Yeah.
I did not pick it up from there. I did not know that was the plot.
Yeah, they sealed the evil sorceress away in a space-like prison, and then as a result of that, the amount of radio waves they have to use to suppress her power actually prevents you from using radio waves on Earth. It actually blocks all the signal. That's why the rest of the world has lost all radio communication, and no one knows why.
Well, I'm not saying lose all radio communication. I'm just saying your physical phone, gone. It does not work anymore.
So would everyone just have to buy a new phone, or?
No. None of them work.
Right, okay.
The brand new one they shop, they just made one, just came out of the line, put a new battery in it, doesn't work.
Okay, so no phones work. No dumb phones, no smartphones.
No kinds of phones.
No, not even landlines.
Landlines work.
Landlines work?
Yeah.
Okay.
But just no phones that you can take out of your house and go away and come back to it. Because, a lot of people Like, I mean, whoever listens to this podcast remember landlines.
Yeah.
But you know, the newer generations,
They had no idea what a
they had
landline
no
is.
idea what it means to actually plan your time, looking at your clock and being like, I have 15 minutes to get there. The bus should be there at that time, so just run.
Yeah.
They don't know that. They'd be like,
having to go
oh,
on a week at a
what time is
prayer.
the next bus? Just go look it up. What time is the next bus? Like,
It's a 3-minute walk to the bus stop. I know that, and it's also like here in 9 minutes. So I got 3 minutes to like inject ketamine or whatever kids do these days, and then they could get on the bus. And it might sound more efficient, but sometimes it's more relaxing and liberating to just go on wing on a prayer. Don't know. I'm just going to walk in this direction. Hopefully, there's a bus.
Thinking of it, I would never be able to drive anywhere because I'm addicted to my map.
Yeah, you see. See, I have the benefit of never having used like sat nav while I'm driving ever, because I'm on a motorbike. You can't use your phone sat nav on a motorbike unless
you can nowadays.
You can if you get a mounted thing and fix it to the front of your bike. But I crash my bike way too much for doing that shit. I don't want to lose my smartphone as well as like a £30 indicator for a motorbike.
Yeah, I believe it's gonna be a complete chaos. How many people will lose their jobs because of it?
That's true.
The
That's
funny
very
thing is
true.
going to be no more influencers.
Yes! Oh, God, life would be so cool. Oh, sorry.
You think it's going to take us a long time to adapt?
I think, honestly, it'd be better. It would be better for society as a whole because no one would want to be an influencer anymore. The idea of an influencer would disappear and people would have, like, real dreams again. I want to do something cool. I want to be an influencer. That's...
What would all those, money obsessed people that want to make money without putting any effort in
Well,
do?
just go into the stock market like everybody else. That's what most
No
of these
phones,
rich
you have
kids
to do it off your computer.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that there turns into a desk job now.
Yeah, it'd be a bit more like having a real job rather than just trading on your phone or whatever they'd fucking do. To be fair, I don't think most rich people even do trading by themselves. I think they get...
Oh, no, they just give money to someone.
Yeah, they get
for them,
brokers, or whatever they
why
call
would you do it? Because you just give the money and be like, give me a return and I'm happy with whatever you give me back.
Yeah,
'Cause
just
at the
like
end of the
manage
day-
my money, make sure I never have to worry about it anymore, and I'm going to go to Barbados where I get like a tan and probably an STD from a local prostitute. That's basically it.
Wow, you went there. Because my question was like...
I'm not saying that the prostitutes of Barbados are any more or less likely to have STDs. It's just
No, but my question to you, Billy, which makes it really awkward now because I asked.
if you could have one STD, which
No,
one would it
no. Is, do you even know your mom's number?
be?
Because that was my next question, and then you went into prostitutes.
Oh, right.
So I'm like, I'm not, like, I'm trying to do
So
transitions.
that wasn't
here.
a planned joke. That was just your next bit.
That was not a planned joke.
Funny thing is, I can remember my dad's mobile number because he's had the same mobile number since I was a kid, and when I had to remember it because
Do you think he remembers his ex-wife's phone number then?
my dad's ex-wife is not my mum. They're a long story.
Okay, let's not get into that.
The thing is, my mum wouldn't she barely uses her phone anyway because she lives in the woods. So, she's got no signal anyway. So even if I do remember her number, it won't matter anyway.
Well, she wouldn't have signal because there's no phones.
Yeah, exactly. So, she'd be stuck. She'd have to call me from the campground, whatever she's living, and call up on the office phone, I guess. I don't think she remembers any of my numbers. I definitely don't remember hers.
So
I remember my old house number. But I'm not going to just say it out loud, obviously.
363647.
I'm not about to dox my old home landline number.
Yeah.
But I reckon I could get by without my phone. All right, I'd be bored.
That was my. Are you gonna be happier or are you gonna just be really bored?
Honestly, I'd probably be more healthy. I'd probably do more push-ups to satisfy the boredom rather than just listen to podcasts on my phone all the time.
You can still listen on podcasts on your computer.
True, but I'd have to, it wouldn't be in my hand following me around while I do jobs or whatever. It would be okay, I'm here for an hour to listen to this thing, so I'm going to do push-ups for an hour whilst I'm listening to this thing.
No, you're not.
That's what I would, I think I'd like to think.
You're not. You just lied straight off there.
I'm trying to give people advice on how to organize their life better by saying what I would do, even though it's not true.
You wouldn't do it, but you tell other people to do it.
That's what everyone does, man. Shut up.
Here's another good one.
You said this one wasn't going to be torture, man.
This is not torture. Why is this torture? I have no AI subject matter in here at all. I avoided
For which
it.
I greatly appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks. I do try.
Really?
Here's no, not really. What if cash didn't exist at all.
All right. I'm mentally prepared for this because I've had these conversations with so many schizophrenia patients. I'm not even joking.
So everything will be tracked. Homeless people and small businesses will have no way of getting money because small businesses typically don't want to pay 1% to just a random company to process. Is it going to be more convenient, or the control people going to control us? Just Andrei's putting. You have to imagine I'm just putting my hat on, my conspiracy hat on. Let's go.
It's made of tinfoil and it's very pointy. Okay, right. So I've had this discussion. Basically, what that would do and why the world government would want to do this. You know, the world government.
No.
This explains to me very, very...
Illuminati. 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 Go on, sorry.
This is explained to me whilst in the middle of a game of ping pong with a guy who was so unwell that he was literally talking to himself whilst beating me at ping pong. And he explained to me in the middle of that rant, whilst he was like absolutely just destroying me, like 21-0 at ping pong, he was explaining to me that without cash and without, non-immediately traceable sources of money, because you can track cash, you have marked bills and serial numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you don't track me giving you a $5.
No, you don't. And you don't track giving your drug dealer 50 quid for whatever. So
but that's one of the points.
Yes, that was one of the points. And he was like, well, I think the government are going to do this to crack down on the drug trade and to prevent donations from foreign actors. I think the donations from foreign actors thing will just come in like a different form.
Like crypto?
Crypto. Like, let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, crypto will exist, so I imagine if there was no cash, crypto would go fucking mental.
Because I think that would be the next logical thing to do.
You would have to if you wanted to buy anything illegal, which is like all drugs, steroids, lots of other illegal things I'm not going to mention. But basically, it'd be like the dark web again. It'd be the dark web again. Everyone would be forced to participate in the fucking crypto.
So there will be a better black market, though.
I wouldn't say better. I'd say everyone used to say like that weed was a gateway drug or whatever. The thing is, if weed is legal, it stops being a gateway drug because you don't have to talk to people who sell other things in order to buy your weed. Yeah,
because you do a shop like the Californians did.
Yeah, you go to the Cali weed dispensary and you buy 15 grams of the new hot shit or whatever. Instead of a guy also saying, "Hey, do you want some meth? Do you want some coke? Do you want some speed? Do you want some of this?"
So if you buy 100 quid of weed, I will give you some meth.
Yeah, I'll give you some heroin.
you can just drizzle it on top.
Yeah. Have you tried this? It's laced with this. Like they always used to try and get people to take more cocaine by saying they were selling weed laced with cocaine, which isn't really how that works.
Oh, fuck. I mean, I don't think cocaine works that way, right?
You can smoke it, it's just not good.
Oh.
But then again, it's not good for most things. So, anyway, less drug talk. But yeah, without cash, drugs would all have to be done via crypto, and that would make crypto worth a whole lot more. Which is why I can see, Elon Musk and people like that eventually trying to push for the end of cash. I can see them doing that because, they would like the black market to be paying them rather than, I
have a hilarious story about the don't add cash thing.
Mm-hmm.
A dude tipped me a $5 once, and I looked at it carefully, and I'm like, wait, this is not a $5.
Oh, no.
It was one of those pliers that you open, and it said keep cash alive, and I look at it and I'm like, you fucking asshole, you just gave me a piece of paper rather than $5.
Keep cash alive, observe as I give you no cash.
Exactly. I'm like, that's not how you keep cash alive. Where's my £5, dude? I thought you were gonna tip me. Yeah. And he had a big order, loads of cocktails and stuff, and he gave me one of them, and I'm like, oh, cool, man.
Did he pay for the cocktails in cash?
No, he paid for everything in cash, right? But the idea is at the end he comes back and he gives me one of these. And I got so disappointed because I'm like, why would you do that to anybody?
What the fuck, dude? You're like an anti-salesman for your point.
You just make me want to not keep cash alive. I just want to burn cash now because of you.
It's like, imagine if I just took a shit on someone's doorstep and I was holding a vote reform sign at the time. And as they said, hey, stop shitting on our doorstep, I said, fuck you, race traitors, and left. That's not good. Though that person is never going to vote reform.
You don't know that.
This is actually a pretty good idea. Maybe we should do this.
He might be into that. No, we're not doing that. Not alleged, nothing.
No alleged plans to shit on anyone's doorstep in our local neighborhood.
Don't put that on recording. Billy. Nobody needs that.
Have I given the game away? Like, was this eventually the plan?
Yeah. So that will kill tips. That will kill gifts.
That's true.
Because everything has to be tracked. And probably as soon as people are they're like, oh, there's no cash option, we're going to start charging you for transferring money between accounts. So no favors, no handyman rather than charging.
No birthday money.
No birthday money.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to be a QR code in an envelope.
Or like, gift cards. I mean, it will give gift cards a reason to exist.
Yeah, well, they have a reason. The reason gift cards exist is so the industry makes more money without selling you anything.
Yes.
That's the only reason gift cards exist. There's a silly number, like, I don't know how many millions of pounds just sitting in gift cards in people's houses.
That nobody uses.
There's nobody uses.
Yeah.
So gift cards are the biggest scam in the world.
Well, to be fair, it's also a good way to combat inflation, apparently, because all the money is going into a pit. The thing is with like gift cards, I've always looked at it like this. I was like, oh, this is a way that my nana can give me some money in a way that she knows I'm not going to spend it on drugs and booze. That's basically the only reason I can think of for those things existing, for you ever buying them. Is like, I don't trust my kid. They're probably going to go spend this on drugs. So I'll give them a 20 quid Amazon voucher instead of money.
Well, that's fine because you can buy... What can you buy that you resell for a good price?
A weed growery.
And then you grow your own weed.
And then you grow your own.
But then you become, you get yourself a profession, and all of a sudden, that 20 pounds turned you into a farmer.
You started a huge agribusiness off of like your birthday money from Nana.
Yeah. You start off with growing weed, and then you go into potatoes. Because it's the only natural.
It's the same plants, and they.
Because you get the munchies, so you need potatoes to make potato chips, right? And then you grow also sunflowers because you need oil to fry the potatoes in,
and also sunflower seeds,
and sunflower seeds to munch on as well. And all of a sudden, you're a farmer that makes its own potato chips and sells it next to his weed because he's an illegal weed dealer. That's for sure. But no.
And then you could think when they raid your house for like all the the massive spike in electricity bills you got from growing weed inside, they're like, where is it? Oh, potatoes? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You're just doing the correct British thing of growing potatoes. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
No, we shouldn't say that because that's for veterans. But imagine if the government comes around and because it's a cashless society, they just freeze your account.
Yeah.
Just because.
Well, funnily enough, there's actually a historical account of that happening. Back in, remember the truckers thing in Canada, the trucker convoy that was like, anti-mask mandates and vaccines or whatever?
Yeah.
Well, basically they blocked off one of the main bridges going between Canada and America, and they were like, occupying the downtown, honking their horns, waving flags and shit.
Yeah.
Very, very annoying to everyone who lived there, but they just basically refused to fuck off until the government reduced mask mandates or some bullshit like nobody cares about anymore. But in order to fight the striking truckers, which was allegedly what they were, Prime Minister at the time, Justin Trudeau, decided to legally freeze their bank accounts.
Well,
have a think about this for any striking worker ever, in all of history. Imagine if they could just freeze your bank account. You would never go on strike again. Never. Because how much cash do you have on you right now? Even before the cashless society thing. Like, how much cash do you have on you right now?
If we're talking from the hypothetical of cashless society, you wouldn't have any cash.
You wouldn't have any cash. And unless most people don't have cash on them now. So if they just freeze your bank account, you're still fucked. How much cash do you have, in your house? Is it going to be enough to take your kids to school, put gasoline in the car? No.
Not even close.
It's not going to be able to feed you for a week.
No, not even close.
Not even close. So
if I have 15 pounds laying around, and that's if I don't want to go into my coin collection, we don't count that.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't touch the coin collection.
And if the government then, decides, oh, well, the strike, the workers' union also can't, they freeze their accounts as well. The union can't even help you out by giving you food bags and stuff like they used to do during strikes.
Yeah, so it's like you're done.
Yeah, your entire union is toast at that point.
So cashless society is a bad idea.
Fuck yeah, it's a terrible idea.
When was last time you used cash, Billy? Not with your drug dealer.
Oh, not with the drug dealer?
Not
okay. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Should I just move to the next one?
Yeah.
To move away from the sadness of what that was.
What was the Chris Rock joke? When was the last time you took cash out at 2 a.m? Was it ever for something positive?
Yeah, I don't remember taking cash out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
For anything good.
For anything good, no.
Yeah.
But here's a what if, which is tied with the last what if. What if the government starts tracking every single purchase you ever made?
Oh. Well, I mean, technically they are
to a certain degree, but they're not.
There's
they're
privacy and data laws. They barely sort of hold things together, kind of.
The GDPR of things, but that doesn't really work, does it?
It doesn't work as well as people want it to.
And also, people that the rules are made for, because we're talking about GDPR, right?
Yeah.
I did a whole bunch of seminars on this.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
because I had to, and whatever data protection, how you protect whatever.
I have to handle people's health information. Yeah, it's very, very strict.
So when this started happening, all of a sudden, a lot of places are not allowed to do tabs anymore.
Really?
In bars, yeah, you're not really allowed to do a tab. You can keep a tab open, but you're not allowed to take a card behind the bar, because that was the only thing that was protecting you as the employee from the guy just walking out.
Yeah.
Because it's a bar, it's everybody keeps moving, going left to right, getting drinks, whatever, getting pissed. But they said you can't keep people's cards behind the bar anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's data protection, and if that card gets lost, you basically lose their information and you could get sued about it. And now people come up at the bar and they're like, oh, can I start a tab? And I'm like, no, you cannot. It's like, we were here a few years back and we started a tab. And I'm like,
no,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, you did, because GDPR is around just for the last 5 years.
No, it's been around forever. At least like some form of data protection.
Yeah, some form of data protection. But the GDPR, as in the way it stands right now, the way it's enforced right now, it's not been very long since they started enforcing it properly.
Yeah, I can see why they don't want to do that. It's a kind of a stupid thing to do, is like, hold someone's credit card hostage.
No, because you need to get. But the funniest thing
Plus,
is,
if the guy gets drunk and kicks you, you have to kick him out. Then
you can't really charge his card.
Yeah, you can't charge his card.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like,
so you end up losing money anyway.
Yeah,
he might just never come back for his card, and you can't charge him on it. So
yeah. So it doesn't work. But what the idea they stopped doing, and you tell people, listen, it's your personal data and we don't want to hold on to it. And they're like, yeah, just start me a tab then. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works. He's like, yeah, it will be fine. Don't worry, I'm not going to walk out. Yeah, you know what the last guy that walked out said?
He walked out. I'm not going to walk out, don't worry, dude.
Exactly, right? So that stopped happening, right? So in this cashless society, the government will, allegedly not track everything you do, but let's say if GDPR doesn't exist, every single payment you ever do, every single withdrawal you ever take, a picture of your face will be taken, and who will be tracking you as, you can't withdraw, actually, never mind, that killed my whole point there.
It's tracking you as you withdraw your cash, which we don't have in the cashless society. Is that what you were about to say?
Exactly. So what are you going to do? Like, walk around with gold bullions, like just
precious stones, Andrei. We're going back to the barter system and we're doing precious stones. They may be of zero use to you or zero value, but if they look cool, then they're worth something.
Somebody will buy them at some point. Yeah.
It's kind of funny that gold, like one of the most sort of like standardized currencies in like human history and things that we like base a lot of currency backing off of until like the 70s. It's amazing that it's only valuable because it looks shiny.
Yeah, that's how it started. It started because it looked shiny. Then they realized actually gold is one of the best conductors you can get out there.
Yeah,
that's
true.
why it's all.
And it also doesn't like age. It doesn't oxidize really, so it's good for storing in large bars. And
there's this meme going around the internet that says there's an asteroid floating up there which has about 300 trillion pounds of gold in it. That's enough gold to make everybody on Earth a billionaire, right? And the first comment on that thing is, take an economy class, you'll still be poor, that will just crush the price of gold.
That's actually true.
So I found that hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, we'll still be poor. Just gold's not going to be worth as much. So some people are going to be even poorer because some people hoard gold.
That's true. Imagine if you actually just wanted the gold to make a sick necklace out of it.
It's going to be a very cheap necklace now.
It's going to be very cheap, yeah. I mean, you could have just bought exactly the same thing because Because now the price of gold is nothing.
Yeah.
To be fair, watching the gold market crash would be very, very funny. Because a lot of people who don't trust like the American government or like, national currencies, they put their money into gold out of like a paranoid sort of doomsday prepper thing. Watching the price of gold just collapse would be very, very funny for me.
It would be hilarious because they're like, I have 60 million in gold in my basement, and if you do, please give me a call and tell me where your address is.
Tell me where your basement is.
Yes.
Also the times that you work, please.
Okay. Because and all of a sudden his 60 million will turn into basically zero.
Nothing, yeah. Like if you have like 300 trillion like pounds of something, then none of it's going to be, even if it's cocaine, it's not going to be worth a whole lot.
No, it's not. It's not, because there's so much of it. So it's supply and demand and all that.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. But let's just go back to the sort of subject.
What was the question?
What if the government will track every purchase you ever made?
Well, to be fair, I mean, they probably already know that I've bought sex toys before. So what could be more embarrassing than that,
It's not about embarrassment. It's about your gambling habits.
Which
your
I don't have.
Smoking habits.
Which I do have.
Your drinking habits.
Which I definitely have.
So
I mean, I don't need the government to tell me I'm an alcoholic, Andrei,
What is the...
They probably know that.
Let's think, all of a sudden you get flagged for buying something from a dodgy website, and the government's like, Billy, we saw what you bought. we believe you're a threat, and you get put on a list because the government tracks you.
So we put on a list for like going to baddragon.com.
Yeah. And you bought that massive ass dildo that you always wanted. They're like, Billy, you're not the
Sorry, this is going on your DVS now. You're no longer legally allowed to work with the
So when you try to get a mortgage in the UK, right? It's a really hard process. It's a very long process. And
do they base it on whether you went to baddragon.co.uk?
No, so basically what happens, they look into all your expenses, and if they find a lot of reoccurring gambling sites things, you don't get a mortgage.
So you're fucked then. Did you have? Oh no, you started gambling after the mortgage. Clever.
I started, yeah. Well, and when I'm gonna remortgage, I'm not gambling for the next 4 months because they only check 4 months back.
Oh, really? This is really, really useful, useful life advice with Andrei here. You won't find this in schools.
Yeah, no, they don't teach you this. But yeah, so that's basically banks tracking you, not the government. But what if the government can track you?
I mean, the government has owned the banks before. I mean, they could do it again if they wanted to. It would be funny. Try it.
Will crime go down, you reckon?
With what go round?
Crime.
Go
down.
I don't know. Depends on the kind of crime, Because I imagine, okay, so even in, like, situations where nobody has any money, like, extreme poor and concentration camps and shit, people still, pick on each other. That still always happens eventually. So,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe it would just, like, we'd get a return to, like, the tradition of just beating up a guy and stealing his shoes, rather than actually stealing his wallet. I think.
But how are you going to sell those shoes, because...
there's no cash.
There's no cash, and there's no government tracking.
I'd imagine you'd probably Facebook Marketplace it for something with...
But then it's going to be tracked, because those shoes were stolen, and it's on your Facebook Marketplace, and when you go there to actually meet them, because the government tracks it, it's going to be a government agent, hence a police officer, to arrest you for beating up
the
that
tracking
guy.
Information on these Adidas things seems to have been worn off by this nail file. What a shame. I mean, you can still scrape the serial numbers off and shit.
Yeah, but it's not the serial number. It's the shoes of the guy that you just beaten up, but actually hit his head and he died. So now it's a crime, Billy. So now you're gonna go to jail because you killed somebody for a pair of Adidas shoes because the government tracked you. Yeah, I'm
okay. Yeah, your totalitarian government idea is thinking way ahead of me on this one.
Yes, I am. I'm quite.
I'm just saying people would steal things for the function of the thing rather than their monetary value. Maybe
you walk down the street and I see you with the shoes that were reported they were stolen from the guy.
Well, these tracking numbers were mysteriously filed off. So.
Is that your to go? Is that your to go?
Yeah.
Billy, you have no chance of being a criminal in my totalitarian universe.
Probably not.
That's very reassuring.
I would get caught immediately.
Do you reckon because the government tracks everything, as soon as they see your purchases, they can make them public and just so people can judge you?
Oh, I imagine they would, but I think
they will start to blackmail you on your purchases.
I have a question about this, right? Does blackmail work anymore? Like,
yeah.
Does
Look
it?
at Donald Trump. What the fuck are you talking about? Look at Donald Trump. Putin is holding blackmail against him. That's why nothing's happening in Ukraine. And I'm sure Israel has something against him and has some blackmail against him. That's why nothing. He started the war in Iran.
No, I don't know if it. Thing is, right? Everyone knows he's a pedophile.
Okay, that's a conspiracy theory in my head, okay? But I believe the only reason... Because nobody's that stupid.
Really? You really think that, Andrei?
Not that stupid. I believe he's
May I
quite
introduce to you King Philip III of France?
Okay,
no, it's Spain. Sorry. Look, people of insane, like dictatorial, stupid people is nothing new. Like power makes you stupid. Eventually, it always does. No. I think the thing is, like, everybody knows that Trump is not only in the Epstein files. He's like main character or character number 2. He's like everywhere, all over those things, in the redactions. He's got up to some fucked up shit. People know about it. The secret's out there, and yet nothing happens. So does blackmail really work anymore? Because you're just like, all right, yeah, release it. Fuck it. The president's been accused of worse, and he's still there.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to me, bitch? Like, what are you actually going to do? Blackmail just doesn't really work anymore because people don't have any shame. So yeah, in a world without shame, like, blackmail it becomes an unviable tactic eventually, How do you blackmail the guy who doesn't give a shit about the fact that he's an awful person and that everybody knows he's an awful person?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody can find a way, because I'm sure there are more horrible and more intelligent people than myself out there. They could find a way.
Yeah, I mean, you probably have to, like, kidnap his favorite, like, I don't know, he doesn't have any human sort of, soul. So, you, like, have to kidnap a pet. You have to kidnap their, like, favorite dog or something. And just, like, you hold that to ransom, and that'll be more effective than blackmail at this point, I think.
Yeah, cool. Let's move into something cheerful towards the end of all of this, because it's been 40 minutes and it got a little progressively more grueling. I'm not gonna lie, we ended up in politics again, which I'm sorry.
It happens.
I'm so sorry we ended up in politics. But here's a fun one for you.
Okay.
And this one, I really want to have the thing to happen to us.
So you're coming in there with a bias. So
yes, I am coming in with a bias, and I will prove my point.
Allow me to make it miserable, Andrei. I'm gonna make it. You're gonna try and be cheerful. I'm gonna make it miserable.
What if? Actually, also this one does not apply to you.
Oh, okay.
Because part-timer. What if everybody worked a 4-day week?
Oh, that'd be sick.
And just get paid the same. I mean, it doesn't apply to you because you already work a 4-day week.
What, would I like to be paid like a 5-day-a-week person? Yes.
Would that actually bring global death down?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it will be more free time for people to do more fun things.
More free time, people live longer, they'll be less stressed, they have more time for hobbies. Like, people have done tests on this, man, and everyone's happy with it.
France, right? They did it in
the UK as well. They've been doing it over and over in every country for years.
Would you work less?
No, to be honest, I'd probably work better. To be honest, I worked more efficiently when I was doing 3 days a week rather than doing 4 like I do now. Because I had, my brain was just more rested. I wasn't, like, stressed out by the end of the week and, like, so tired I couldn't really do anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, try working 5 days a week.
Yeah, I have. It sucked.
Yeah, I know it does.
It's just I have to do a lot more thinking and, like, planning and organizing and things than I used to. So, it helps to have a fresh mind for all of it.
Because I think that study in France, well, it wasn't a study, it was an actual case.
Yeah, they just did it. Yeah.
And they just worked, they were so much more productive, and it just helped. And
I think it's like an average of like 20 to 30% more productivity, like from each individual person.
Yeah. Just
because they're not tired, man. Like, you got like a longer weekend, it's just better.
So I hate that you agree with me because I wanted to have a fight with you. we can't fight on something that we...
No, we agree way too much on this, dude. Like,
yeah, which is...
You've seen experiments that worked out. I've seen studies that worked out.
I think I would rather work because I'm on a 40-hour basis, right?
Yeah.
I would rather do 40 hours in 4 days because that's 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then just leave me alone for 3 days. Don't talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, I will have to have 2 days off together and then one random date somewhere in the week. It would be
like a
great.
Wednesday.
Like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Give me Sunday, Monday off, and then Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. It'll be amazing.
That would be awesome. But, you don't live in that world yet.
No, yeah, hopefully at some point. But given the fact that we ran through the question so quickly, I had a contingency plan in place because I thought, we still need to make an hour, and we're probably not.
Is it like 15 minutes of Billy being tortured?
No, you're not going to be tortured. But I'm gonna just hit you with a whole bunch of stupid questions for no fucking reason, and I would hope you'll have a good answer for every single one of them because I am judging you, and I am counting. I'm bringing my phone out. And I will count your score, and from 1 to 10, I'll write down how stupid...
Oh, wait, there are wrong answers to
No,
this?
there's no wrong answer, but I'll just judge you how stupid your answer is.
Okay.
So it's you need to impress me here, Billy. So are you ready?
All my life, I've wanted nothing more than to impress you.
All right, Billy, here's your first question. Are you ready?
Yes.
What would you do if you had 2 left feet?
Not dance.
Not... Good answer.
Nothing would change from my existence now.
That's 3 points, Billy. Congratulations. It's a score of 1 to 3, by the way.
Okay,
that's
cool.
3 points.
I'll go with it.
What would you do if the floor was lava walls you had 2 left feet?
Fly.
Just all of a sudden,
yes.
for no reason, just managed to fly.
That's,
how is gravity?
Well, 2
work?
left feet basically means that you've been constructed by Satan personally, so that means you would have the ability of flight, even if you haven't unlocked it yet.
1 point, Billy. That does not have enough body behind it. What would you do if you would live in the times of the dinosaurs, Billy?
Besides get eaten and die?
Besides getting eaten and dying.
Well, I really appreciate the higher oxygen levels in the atmosphere. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
I would eventually develop superpowers not unlike the dinosaurs, and I would ride them.
You would ride a dinosaur in a sexual or in a normal manner way?
Well, I imagine it would begin in a normal manner. How it develops after that, I mean, that's up to them.
That's a 2 because you did accept a bit of sexuality in that, which I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's a good point.
This is all moral criteria, man. It's bullshit.
What would you do if you would never die? Besides the fact that you would not die.
Besides not dying?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would...
This is hard.
What I would do is I would turn myself into a human library, okay?
In a human library, as in you're going to read everything, or you're going to wear all the books on you?
And as in...
No, because
I would make a coat entirely out of books, yes. No. What I would do is I would go to, all the sort of experimental, scientific, and sort of, top research places in the world, and I would say, hey, look, scientists, you're all going to die soon. I will not. So use me as a storage for your grand ideas, which may not be possible now, but might be possible in the future with different technology.
Follow-up question to this one, because I don't trust scientists. What if they just plagiarize themselves, and it's just a constant just copy of the wrong idea, so they will give you the wrong idea towards the future?
I suppose they could lead me, 3-body problem style down a blind avenue of physics, but still... I think it would be
get
useful.
3 points because you were noble there, just so you know. This is really...
Actually, I changed my answer.
It's too late now. The
I
question
tend to
is
sleep
over.
with every femboy on Instagram. I have infinite time.
What if you could only eat green food?
Okay, so I would buy green food coloring and just spray it on things. Sorry, dude. That's a simple answer to that one.
That's true. You will probably die of toxicity.
Enoma poisoning or some shit. Well, I'm sure there's some good nutrition in green food dye. I'm sure it's made out of pistachios or something.
I mean, you could only eat green foods. You could have been like a diet of broccoli, kale.
Oh, no, even better option, right? What I would do is I would actually damage my eyesight so I could only perceive the color green. There you go. Everything is food now.
That dropped it down to 1. It's so disappointing, that answer, dude.
The scoring criteria is fucked up, man. It's your fault, not mine.
What would you do if you were on the run from the law, Billy?
What do you mean, what if?
3, good answer. Moving on. Oh, this is a stupid question. The previous ones were not stupid.
Oh, yeah, the previous ones were great.
What if Harry Styles appears on your doorstep, Billy?
I'd ask, why are you trying to molest my fish?
That's a 3. Also, what's with your hate on Harry Styles?
Oh no, he has a weird thing with fish. Have you noticed that? Like every single music video, there's like fish or him being around fish or him getting turned into a fish. He has a weird thing with fish. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing.
Okay.
I don't know any more about that.
Just
that's all I'm saying.
Let's just move on from that one. Here's the thing. This is a scenario question. What if you are faced with an ice cream and ice cream starts leaking ice cream on the floor? What do you do in that case?
Usually I put my ice cream up to the sky like Excalibur and then suck it out the bottom.
Yes, 2.
That's the correct thing to do. Shut up.
And you just get a 2 for that.
That's what those cones are designed for, man.
What would you do with unlimited money, Billy?
Oh, good God. Well, firstly, I'd abolish money. So...
You would abolish money.
Yeah.
So how are we going to pay for things?
You don't need money if everything's done by, mutual contracted agreement.
Okay, so
I provide X value to society. Society provides me.
Would that mean
X
that
values.
you would kill the whole society as because nobody wants to work, because they don't have to work, because there's unlimited
Well,
money?
no, it's part of the social contract. You signed the thing saying that you would work and do these services and provide these services for the community if you want the community to keep paying your way. Don't ask the communists what it'll do with money, because they'll just break society with it. That's
what
the whole
would
point.
you do if you saw yourself on TV?
I'm trying to think if I've ever actually been on TV. I haven't. I've been in newspapers. When I was a little kid, I've been on radio.
You're still fighting those charges, aren't you?
No, statute of limitations. I'm fine. But no, I don't actually know what I would do if I saw myself on TV. I probably go, look, it's me.
One horrible fucking answer.
Sorry,
that was
dude,
so fucking disappointing. Honestly,
this is just me getting abused.
What would you do if you could regrow all your limbs? We're not referring to your
I would
penis
submit
either.
myself as a testing dummy for the experimental weapons project.
Free, because that turns into X-Men. What would you do if you had a pet octopus, sir?
A pet octopus?
Yes.
I would not name it Timothy. I would...
That's such a missed opportunity. Timothy the octopus.
I would try and teach it how to play video games, because they're...
Eight. Yeah, that's a good answer. That you get another free there, Billy. Actually, you're kind of starting to nail all of these ones.
Yeah.
What would you do if you'd be able to live in outer space?
Go visit, obviously. No shit. But
that wasn't the question. What would you do in outer space, Billy?
I was in as if I had a house in outer space.
Yeah.
How far away from Earth are we talking here?
Somewhere in between the moon and Earth.
Oh, fine. So I could still get Wi-Fi. It'll be fine then.
No, you can, actually.
You can get internet latency. Pretty good internet latency in space. Yeah.
So
like,
what? You're just going to stay in your outer space house?
I don't know what the fuck they do up there besides, like, because you can't just jerk off. It would clog up all the machines eventually.
That's a 2. Let's just move on.
They think they have special cups, like they must have that, right?
Oh, this is very accurate given the fact that you are in a band. What would you do if tomorrow one of your songs are a famous hit radio song?
I would give deliberately misleading information about what the song means and why it was written. I would make up, I would tell every paper a different story until, nobody knew what it was about or what it was written about.
That's fucking good.
I think it would just be funny.
That's
I would contradict the rest of the band. I would make up shit about their personal lives that they helped write about and they influenced. I would make shit up about them. It would be great. Everyone would hate us and think we were so fucking annoying, but it would be so much fun just for that one. You got 15 minutes of fame. Might as well have fun with it.
Yeah, might as well. But here's another really good one. Your best friend was a world-famous chess player. What would you do? I don't know why I put that voice on.
I would check which reality I was living in, because I don't think you've ever been a grandmaster chess player.
You are wrong. That's a fucking one. That was me trying to launch my other channel. Chessing with Andrei.
I would investigate the reality bending technology that got you to be at the top of a chess tournament.
What could you do if you could read people's minds?
Oh, dude, I'd go insane easily, immediately.
Insane, actually. That's pretty good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's you ever see the Buffy episode where she gets psychic powers? And then she hears everyone's thoughts.
I have not watched as much Buffy as you, which is slightly concerning.
It's a good show.
It's a lot of Buffy. Dude.
There's a lot of Buffy, yeah, but it's a good show, and most of the episodes are pretty good. This one was particularly good, because it was the one that got banned for having school shooter references in it.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll give you a 3. That's a good one. Here's the next one, sir, and this one I know the answer for it. What would you do if you were never wrong?
If I was never wrong?
Yeah.
Well, I'd stop being a negative Nelly. That's what I'll say.
Oh, that was not what I expected.
Well, as if I
because your answer was supposed to be there. Just so you know, there was a correct answer to this one question.
Oh, was there?
The correct action would have been what do you mean if I'm never wrong? I'm always right. That was the correct answer, Billy.
I'm sorry, Andrei. I don't immediately default to arrogance. Hey! Love you, dude.
What?
Even though you're putting me through hell right now with very stupid questions.
Hey, listen, I have to fill out the time. We agreed too much on the last couple of questions. This is your fault. You did this, Billy. You did this to yourself.
Filthy opinions.
Yeah,
having
good opinions. I hate you. What would you do if you became a dog for a day?
Oh, easily.
Fuck them bitches. That's the only good answer.
No. I would be one of those dogs that can smell epilepsy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because then you could smell the nervous twitches of humans.
It's only one day, man. How are you gonna do any good?
I don't know. You might be able to, like, I'd learn how to sniff out, like, neurological problems. It would be great.
You get it, too, because you try to be wholesome. Ha, 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 ha.
To be fair,
this next question.
My morals might go out the window when I'm a dog, you know?
Yeah, so you're going to go fuck some bitches.
Yeah, that'll be all I'd be interested in, yeah.
Here's the next question, Billy, and this is a very serious one, and it's going
Very
to get
serious.
political, unfortunately.
Oh,
What would you do if you were the president of the United States? And I regret. I should have skipped this. Why did I read it out loud? I knew this is going to make it political.
I would abolish the presidency of the United States.
You get a free because you comment.
Well, look, man, we constantly have to hear about it. I'm tired of discussing it. I'm sure everybody else is as well. It'd be just much better if there wasn't one.
So what would you do if you could travel anywhere in the world? I'm just moving past it because I don't want to get political.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. What would you do if you could travel anywhere in the world right now?
Right now?
Right now.
Just once, one-way trip.
Just travel anywhere in the world right now.
I would go to Oman.
Oman?
Yes, I've actually been researching about Oman lately because it's like the one Gulf state I don't know a whole lot about.
Okay.
Because, it's a bit different. It's not like the rest of them.
Where is Oman? Give me a picture.
It's like the boot bit of Saudi Arabia. There's Yemen and then there's Oman, which is like the northerner bit.
Okay.
Isn't
there a war there right now?
No. It's been basically peaceful for the last sort of 50 years, and it's only been ruled by one guy, a sultan named Qaboos. I don't know how you say his name out loud, but
probably not that way. But
it was ruled by that guy for like 50 years until like 2020, and now I think it's his cousin or something. It's one of the few like traditional absolute monarchies that still exists.
Okay,
and there's tons and tons of like ancient like Islam civilization there, which is very, very interesting, and I want to see it.
You got it free because you're fucking wholesome again. Fuck you.
I'm just curious. I've never been there. I don't know what the Sultan of Oman is like.
What would you have? What would you do if you had to run? Not walk ever, just run. So if you want to go to the toilet in your house, you just have to run.
Can I stop?
Yeah, you can stop.
Okay, so
when you're stopped, you're stopped. But when you have to walk, you run.
Right, so it's like being Sonic, basically. As soon as you take a step
forward.
No,
Sonic walks.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, how does he control... Like, it must feel so slow just walking to the bus.
It's like,
wait, why would Sonic ever need a bus?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I am actually putting points down.
Okay, so what I would do if I had to run everywhere, first thing what I would do is I would declutter my house. Because otherwise you're just going to have banged shins permanently. So there'll be no coffee tables.
You're going to turn your whole house in a Formula 1 track.
Yeah, basically. And like every end, like every sofa and bed is like the end zone of like a crash section where I just run in, I just jump. I'd have to be able to jump into every like soft thing that I want to sit down or sleep in. So there has to be like in a straight line trajectory, like a drag strip, and I could just...
Yeah, that's
a low score.
That's a low score.
Fuck you.
That's not.
I'm actually designing this house in my head, and you're giving me a 1. Fuck it.
Well, did you see that? You shouldn't have said that. Here's a better one, Billy. Let's go into magic. What would you do if the Tooth Fairy was real?
I'd catch that bitch and find out how she's sneaking into people's houses every night, because we could use her for the CIA.
What do you mean we can use her for the CIA?
I said they could use her.
What do you mean you can use her for the CIA, Billy? That's a free, because that bitch is...
I cannot confirm or deny.
I want to know where she got all her money from, right?
Well, she gets it from like stealing children's teeth, obviously.
Okay, D&D. Think D&D. The next question. If you could do one magical spell from D&D, what would it be?
Don't know any of the spells from D&D.
That's a fucking one, Billy. Moving on.
That wasn't my answer.
That sounded like it was your answer. Okay, I'll wait.
I know magic missile and that's it. Like, yeah, give me fire magic, because fire magic is fucking useful.
Still a one, Billy.
Yeah, bitch.
That's just fucking disappointing. Oh,
you know what?
God.
I'm gonna start like arbitrarily scoring you on things. Like every time you say something in the pub that doesn't go down, I'm like, oh, that's a 0 for that joke. I'm gonna start taking notes.
What would you do if you could teleport?
Oh, that's easy. I just
rob a bank.
Well, yeah. For whatever that's worth in our cashless society now.
Oh, no, we're done with that.
Oh, okay. So this isn't the cashless society bank robbery, which is pointless.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd teleport to some very high places just to show that I could do it. I might jump off the Empire State Building and then teleport back to the ground as soon as I'm about to hit the ground.
See, I was thinking you're gonna say that.
Yeah?
Your velocity, because an object in movement would keep its velocity.
Right.
So Einstein's theory, so if you would teleport while you were going 50 miles an hour
I'd still be
downwards,
Yeah.
wherever you teleported, you'll still go 50 miles an hour downwards. So if you teleported and you're like, oh, I'm gonna just lay here, you literally fucking explode.
So I can't just teleport to the ground.
Just saying, physics, Billy. Physics still apply in our magical universe.
Maybe I wouldn't do the jumping off things then. But what I would do is I would run along a very straight bit of road. You know those accelerator, like sonic things, like the conveyor belts that speed you up?
Okay.
I would run on one of those just repeatedly until I worked up enough speed to teleport into space and then fly at a reasonable percentage of the speed of light.
Okay, so what's the point of that?
Time travel, brother. Time travel. I'm traveling into the future.
I'll give you a chew, because, I like you. And now last question, Billy. Are you ready for the last question?
Yes.
What would you do if you met your favorite cartoon character?
I'm just trying to think who my favorite cartoon character is.
You don't have a favorite cartoon character?
Like Spike from Cowboy Bebop, I guess, if that counts.
Yeah, well, technically an anime.
The thing is, all the good characters
I'll give you that.
I mean, what else am I going to go for? Like, I don't watch a lot of cartoons.
Guts from Berserk. And you will be like,
it'll be a very short meeting, and it wouldn't say very much. As much as it'd be great to meet Guts from Berserk, I imagine he would find me and you probably very annoying. Because you'll be like, here, have a beer, and he's like, I've got things to do. I've got shit to do. Why are you distracting me? And I'd just be like trying to help him with his problems. He'd be like, fuck off.
So, have you chosen the character?
I'm gonna go with. It's a cartoon from any time, right?
Wherever you like.
I want to go with classic Bugs Bunny.
Classic Bugs Bunny, okay.
Yeah, because he seems like the sort of guy that you could have a beer with and then discuss how are we gonna fuck up that farmer guy, that hunter guy next time,
Yeah, that hunter guy was just doing his job, and actually Bugs Bunny was abusing him.
Sometimes jobs can be abused in themselves, Andre.
You get a 2 because you tried. We're giving participation medals here. So on that note, thanks guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed the last 20 minutes of Torturing Billy with Andrei.
It's the only reason people come in for this, I
swear. Well, subscribe, and do that thing.
And subscribe to my pain.
Maybe see you next time.
Next time I'm going to torture Andrei with detailed questions on his personal decisions, and I'm going to be rating them on a scale of 1 to 17. Alright, see you later everybody. Like and subscribe.